Memastikan integriti dalam rangkaian halal bukanlah suatu perkara yang mudah. Namun begitu, cabaran yang ada malahan memberi banyak manfaat kepada semua. Kesucian setiap bahan mentah menjadi pilihan seluruh masyarakat. Di manapun anda berada, Halal Integrated Platform sentiasa bersama anda.
Pembaharan dah nak habis ni. Ain,
Ya, Bu.
boleh tolong ibu order bahan-bahan bahulu tak?
Tapi Ain dah nak pergi interview dah ni. Tak apa. Ain bukakan portal HIP untuk ibu. Nanti ibu boleh pilih je dalam ni. Nanti ibu jangan lupa tengok laptop ya.
Yelah. Ibu selalu doakan kamu berjaya.
Terima kasih, Bu. Ain pergi dulu.
Segala akses untuk hub halal hanya di hujung jari anda. Memastikan kelestarian rangkaian hub halal untuk generasi akan datang.
Assalamualaikum.
Waalaikumsalam.
Terima kasih.
Cepat dia sampai.
Segalanya pantas tanpa batasan. Sebesar impian, segalanya bermula dengan langkah yang pertama. Terukai integrasi tanpa sempadan dan berpeluang temui rakan niaga baru. Budayakan inovasi dan jadikan idea perniagaan anda satu realiti. Lakar kejayaan, catat peningkatan perniagaan melalui HIP. Daftar dan sertai segera untuk berinteraksi dan mendapat akses kepada ribuan pangkalan data. Hanya yang terbaik dari Halal Integrated Platform.
Hello there, Assalamualaikum and welcome to our very special edition of ThrivTV and HIP Tea Talk. I am Shilda Ismail. Thank you, Thrive, for having me. But before we dive deeper, do share this video as wide as you can. Should you have any questions to the pertaining topics for today, do write in the FB comment box. And if you are looking to break into Japanese market, halal Japanese market, do stay tuned. Okay. For the benefit of the audience, Halal Integrated Platform, powered by Halal Development Corporation, bring together halal industry players from SMEs, corporations, service providers, professionals and consumers, and most of all, entrepreneurs in one house, in one integrated platform to promote growth in this industry. So more information can be found on hip.hdcglobal.com. Membership is currently free. And as a member, you will have access to database, financial facilities, services, e-marketplace, job and talent matching, all of which are provided by HIP strategic partners, namely Bank Islam, Jom Settle, Awang, Microlip, and Malaysia Airlines Berhad. Okay, do browse hip.hdcglobal.com. Okay. I hope everyone has got their tea or teh tarik. Today on HIP Tea Talk, we have Encik Mohd Azahar Bin Hj Awang. He is the General Manager Business Development from Bayam Company Incorporated. He will share experience and lessons on how to export halal products to Japan. Interesting. And Bayam Company is also a strategic partner of Halal Integrated Platform. Okay, so let's call upon Encik Azahar. Assalamualaikum.
Waalaikumsalam. Shilda, how are you?
I'm good. You're not in Japan, right?
No, not currently in Japan. Yeah, I just came back around September. Yeah.
Okay.
I just
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Encik Azahar, for this tea talk, HIP tea talk. So perhaps you can tell us more with regards to your company, and why is it Japan is the next halal export destination?
Okay, first of all, arigato gozaimasu, shita-san. Konnichiwa, minasan. Kyo koko ni iru nowae koto desu. Watashi no namae Azahar-san. By the way, my name is Azahar. I'm from Bayam Co. Limited, a company basically based in Japan, Tokyo. This company basically incorporated in Tokyo by the years of early 2020. We have about 2 years since 2018 until 2020 that we managed to register our company in Japan by the name of Bayam Co. Limited. Okay, the first question basically, why Japan?
Yeah.
Okay, when we talk about Japan with a different language, different culture, different nature, and also a different type of food, basically, the reason why we are opening our eyes to Japan first is because of Tokyo 2020. This is Olympic. Okay,
Yes.
so in due to that matters, our board of directors, our bosses, basically, we want to try to grab something out of Olympic is all about. So that's why we choose Japan. And then as myself, as a personal experience traveling throughout the world, uh, visiting Tokyo basically is a bit headache for us, for me basically, to find halal food because
Right.
it's very hard and it's very tough. Even if they are not 100% halal. They call it Muslim friendly,
Okay.
but it's a bit hard for me to accept it. Okay, so in due to the consideration and for this, that's why we choose Japan. It's a bit tough and challenging, but we are there. Okay.
Okay, so I guess because of the Olympics and the Paralympics of 2020, it's not the end game. As you know, what the benefit of the audience, walaupun the game has already ended, just for your information, Malaysia is actually the inked a deal with Tokyo to provide halal catering for the event. So somehow this spill over masih ada lagi dan ada demand, betul tak Encik Azam?
Yes, correct. You're right. You're right. As part of the Bayamco activities now, basically we become after the before we join into the Olympic directly. Before that, we become part of the halal consultant for a certain company in Japan. In importer for the halal products, including cosmetics and all those things. And also, we become the technical advisor for a company in Malaysia who having an interest to export their product, halal product in Japan. Yeah. So those are the three main activities that we are engaging right now.
Okay, fantastic. All right. I believe that we have a video so that we can understand and also visualize what it's your company is all about. I hope our producers, can we try to play on the video? Okay, welcome back to our special edition, Thrive and also HIPT Talk. Okay, coming back to Mohd Azahar from Bayam. Mohd Azahar, perhaps you can tell us more. What are the challenges of exporting products, halal products to Japan?
Okay, back to the challenge. Basically, there's a few challenges that I can wrap up into main four items. Okay, number one, basically, uh, whichever company that willing to or having the interest to export their product to Japan, those companies should have a certain certification, such as HACCP, GMP, FSS to 22000, ISO 22000. So this is the first step. So without all this certification, you are not allowed to export your product to Japan. Okay, number two, the product specification, which is your product should have all the details. For example, let me share one product. For example, kerepek pisang. You
Okay.
want to export to Japan, basically. So your
Yes.
kerepek pisang must have a very detailed in terms of ingredients, in terms of preparation, the process flow, the originality of the product, the origin country. So this is all the info that you have to share with
Okay.
the custom and also Minister of Health in Japan, basically.
Okay.
So number three is the taxes. So basically, taxes is something that uh, is beyond of our control. Even though they said 11%, 12%, or 10% taxes, but the actual should be totally different from whatever that we can get the from the documentation itself, either from markets or from MITI or from other parts of our government side. So this is the information that we have to get directly from the Japan itself, not from Malaysia. Okay. So number four basically is the freight forwarder and then the logistic provider. It should be halal because not many uh, export something like a logistic provider or freight forwarder from Tokyo that having something like a halal certification.
I
So
see.
this is the challenge that whichever company that willing to go to Japan, so they have to go through all this process first. You know.
Okay, it sounds very, very technical, and you need to at least to have a consultant who's someone ataupun a company who's very, very experienced in order for you not to make mistake. All right, Encik Azhar, what are the popular products that that you see has a demand to penetrate the Japanese market coming from Malaysian perspective? Is it food or what kind of food? Keripik pisang.
So far that I can see that after the Olympic, basically
Yeah.
um, the awareness of after the Olympic, the people in Tokyo basically they're aware that the important parts about the RTC, which is the ready
Okay.
to cook product. Yeah, because
Okay.
during the Olympic itself, giving a very small space in the kitchen and then the numbers of participant of athlete too many and then the limitation of the pandemic itself. So that's why uh, the needs for this type of product is really something like quite needed at this moment. For example, a frozen chicken part. So basically, they would like to have a chicken part. For example, the thigh itself that ready to be
Yes.
cooked.
Yes.
Just open the packing or package whatever. Just throw out into the oven and then it's cooked. Okay, so
Yeah.
those type of trend now currently basically uh, trending lah dekat Japan sekarang ni.
Yeah. But is that
Number
for
one,
Japanese consumption ataupun orang Asian punya consumption ataupun macam mana? They love
basic,
our food or how?
basically it's more on the Japanese side. Yeah.
Oh,
So
okay, interesting.
they love our food. They love
Mm-hmm.
basically the way how we prepare the things. You know.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. You were saying just now? Yeah.
Other thing is the most popular trends now is the plant-based food, which is
Okay.
meatless meat, chickenless meat. Okay,
Okay.
so that's coming a bit of popular now.
Yeah.
Because during the Olympic also certain restaurants in Japan, in Tokyo basically,
Mm-hmm.
uh, promoting all this type of food, and then it's become a popular demands, you know.
What about raw materials? Are there any demands on that coming from Malaysia?
Yes, basically more on the nuts and grain, which is a product like a cashew nut, a roasted cashew nut, raisin, dry apricots, those stuff, which is Bayam Co Limited did import from Malaysia for the Olympic itself. Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to ask you a very popular question now. I mean, we understand how the culture of Japanese and the social aspect of it. Do you need to some sort like a master or to have at least the basis of the language to be able, to mingle around with the business in the industry?
Shida, your question become cliche to me because everybody is
Yeah,
asking me about that.
the same
So
question. Okay.
it's the same question. Okay, basically, we don't need to be a Japanese expert uh,
Okay.
to know everything for their language. Basically, as
Yes.
for me, based on my experience, I just learned a very basic conversation in Japanese through my partners and everything. But in due to that, because Bayamco Limited, we have a Japanese staff in Tokyo,
Mhm.
so our Japanese staff basically can converse in English very well.
Right.
But on the early parts, we are engaging with two organizations by the name of Jetro and Matrix, which is they can provide us with a free service of interpreter that can go around with us anywhere for our business meeting, our business seminars, all those part. Yeah. So that one I think shouldn't be a worry much for others, and for sure I'm here to help them. You know.
Yeah. Okay. All
Okay.
right. Besides that, the Malaysians has been known as we're very friendly people. Don't worry, we can speak other languages also. Okay. What about
Correct.
in terms of? I'm curious. What are the mistakes that some of the entrepreneurs? I mean, I'm sure you have encountered some apa ni lah orang inspiring entrepreneur yang nak export to Japan, and they made a mistake and they came to you to consult, betul? So what are some
Yes.
of the
Correct.
mistakes that you see? I'm sure you have ni mesti, you have done something this way, you should have done this way. So perhaps you can share us, as a supaya kita tidak membuat kesilapan yang sama.
You're right. You're right. There's a few companies that their products being rejected
Gel product, okay,
on
all right.
on the entry point. Based on my experience, there's a few company that sending their product before in the years of 2018 and 2019 been
Okay,
rejected. Okay, so
right.
that's why my advice for them, get the correct information, because most of the information from Malaysia not jive or not synchronized with Japanese requirement or
Yeah.
specification. So that's why we need to have a Japan entity like us, like Bayamco itself, to guide them. What are the requirement? What are the specification or the technicality of the certain product? Because not every product that can be export to Japan,
Yeah.
especially rice based, certain animal
Okay.
based product, and then a certain spices and herbs that cannot go or cannot pass through their specification according to
Okay.
their food acts. So this is the information that very critical, which is we ourselves experienced before having a difficulty to pass through all the specification of the product itself.
Yeah, okay. So in terms of policies and documentation, does Bayam also will help the aspiring entrepreneurs together? So for example,
Yes, correct.
we come to your consult you on this aspect. We want to
Yes,
bring some
yes.
okay lah, let's just put a keripik pisang here, okay? We come to you, okay, let's do this, in terms of packaging, would you advise us? Perhaps you can tell us on
Yes,
that.
correct. Yeah. So basically, in due to that problematic that we are having in the years of 2018 and 2019, and then along the way, Bayamco itself, as an importer for all this Malaysian product to Japan, we also become like a consortium, which is these three company. We call it MJHVC, which is made Malaysia Japan Halal Value Change. So this
Right.
company basically, this consortium basically providing the consultancy, the halal logistic and warehousing, and also the port operator. This consortium basically consists of Bayamco Limited as a importer and also become the technical advisor for the product and also for the company. Another company is NLCCN, which we provide the halal logistic and warehousing both
Mm-hmm.
in Malaysia and also in Tokyo. And another company is Northport. Everybody knows, I think, Northport become
Yeah.
as a port operator for us to in and out from Malaysia to Tokyo. So we are the right channel for any SMEs or any companies that they're having an interest to export their product. Yeah,
I see. Okay. And
with
just
the
I
back.
have somehow a friend of mine who is actually now in Dubai in Dubai Expo currently, and he has been asking me if we were to. Okay, he has a product and he wants to send it his food product and he wants to give it a try to penetrate in Japan. So what about in terms of packaging? Do we need to change the packaging or we can still maintain the whole of what they have right now? Because to change it makes incur some costs, etc. What do you think?
Correct. I cannot say. I cannot say that the only the packaging we need to change because I need to see the product specification is first.
Right. Okay.
Like I said earlier, as a like a crepe pisang, I need to know the ingredient of each of the item inside the crepe pisang itself. The
Yeah.
process flow, the recipe, the ingredients. So you have to share everything
Yeah.
to in order for me to say okay, this is a go, or this is no go. So that's the most important thing. It's not only packaging. Packaging is the last part of it. So the
Yeah.
packaging basically is different whether you want to supply to the retail or you want to supply to the food services. It's a different category and different specification. So that's why for any companies that they're having an interest to go, if they go directly like that, I will sure they will die standing because the specification sometimes we cannot get it anywhere except for the Tokyo itself from the Japan
Right.
side. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
What are the policies and regulation? Are they very strict in Japan? What are the areas that you think is very, very strict?
Um, it's hard for me to say this,
Yeah.
but to be honest with you guys and also to you, Shilda, even
Yeah.
though that we know Japan is very orang kata apa developed country, very maju everything, but in
Yeah.
terms of working, they are using more manuals.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So that's why every form or every documentation it must be perfect. Which mean
Ah,
if your company having like Sendirian Berhad SDN dot PhD dot, so if you are missing the dot itself, they will reject.
that's
So
perfectionist.
how that stringent the thing is. That's based on our
Ah.
experience also. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's great for you to tell us, Jaza, because these are the things that we keep this in a lookout. We understand. Okay, for example, if some entrepreneurs, okay, faham. These are their cultures. Kita tak boleh orang kata cincai or something like that, because like you mentioned,
Correct.
even to the dot, they are very, very particular. So we have to be very, very particular in because we don't want to have kerugian. Once we send out our documentation and come back and then reject it. So we don't want to have a lot of trial and error. Okay, we have one questions from the member of the audience from FB, Christy. So plant-based product have better chance to join rather than poultry, seafood, etc. Plant-based.
Yes, definitely. Definitely. Yeah.
Is it because of the lifestyle or something like that?
Mm, Yeah, I can say that because now it's more on the people is concerned about the nutrition parts. They are concerned about their dietitian, and then their how to say the healthy type of life they are having now. So some of the vegan also promoting all this product. But and then because I think the plant based, they can control everything inside. Because for example, if you have a meat, you cannot control the calorie inside that. Okay, you
Yeah.
cannot control
Okay.
the content of fat inside the beef. Okay, but for the plant based, basically you can control the content of those items inside. So this is why the Japanese side, that I very rare to see them having obese or overweight, or sometimes they are very concerned about their health, to be honest.
Yeah, I think it's
Okay.
a change of lifestyle. In fact, it's not just in
Change your
Japan,
lifestyle.
but I think internationally. Okay, so we have Eureka drinks here. Here we are Eureka drinks from Sabah. We'd like to know if liquid-based product is able to be exported to Japan. Since these are some of the criteria that to really look into it. So Australia is a bit stringent in terms of liquid-based products. So
Correct.
I don't know about Japan. What do you think, Encik Azhar?
There
Liquid-based,
are
yeah.
different. There are different category that we can export to Japan for the
Yeah.
liquid. For example, that we try to bring some juices to Japan.
Yeah.
So they are having a very strict uh, procedures. We can export, but as long as those products can pass through their requirement and specification. So that's why
Right.
I can advise them, if you are willing to change, for example, your liquid or your juices having a certain ingredient inside, like preservative. Okay, for example,
Okay.
like preservative is very sensitive things in Japan. So if you're willing to change that preservative content or the amount of preservative that you're going to put into your ingredients, then why not? So
Yeah.
that's that
I
example
think
that I can give. Yeah.
yeah, but at end day, all ingredients ataupun all the like as you mentioned earlier, the detailing, the flow, the processes has to be very clear and transparent, and that is the
Correct.
most important thing. And if you are the consultant, you have to somehow pass it over to you in Bayam in order for you to check and investigate whether it's okay to to go to the next step,
To
betul?
proceed.
Yeah.
Correct.
So
Correct.
okay, all right. So how has it been between Bayam and also Halal Integrated Platform? You have been as a strategic partner. How do you see Halal? Do you think it's gonna be successful in terms of Malaysia as being the hub Halal, potential hub
Mm,
Halal? Yeah.
okay. Basically, in Japan, the challenge that I facing the earlier part, the understanding of the halal definition itself, because
Okay.
for Japanese, basically they thought that halal is only for Muslim.
Got it.
That's why in Japan they are boasting more on the Muslim friendly, not halal. But
Mm.
when we are there, we tell them, we bring Jakim along with us. Halal is not in terms of religious 100%. It's more on the cleanliness. It's more on the quality of the product, the certain specification that only found inside the halal product. The choices of the ingredient, the fine ingredient inside that. So that's what bring Japanese people would like to try the halal part. Okay, but when they try it, okay, at the first place, so because Japanese is really very very fussy about the quality. Okay,
Mm.
so when we
Okay.
show them the quality of halal product, basically is almost not at the same standard with the normal product that they have. So the idea, they buy the idea saying that our product basically halal is more on the cleanliness, is more on the quality, is more on the, it's not only for the religious part. Okay,
Yeah.
so that's how we buy, or this why we try to make it something like a catchy thing for them to try our halal, but still we cannot something like promote it as a halal, but it's more on the Muslim friendly. you know so
Okay.
the idea basically now I can see in Tokyo, the restaurant over that side got so many restaurant currently basically been promoting this Muslim friendly, because for me the Japanese itself maybe they can eat anything, but as for the tourist itself is having a difficulty. Yeah.
Ya, betul. Okay, I have a question here. Bagaimana sambutan halal produk Malaysia di sana, especially for local people? So, current situation. What do you think, Cik Azhar?
Okay, current situation for
Is
local
it
people
okay?
basically for the Japanese
Krepek,
basically
yeah.
they don't, as I said, for the Japanese itself, they don't care whether it's halal or whatever, those
Ya,
things.
betul.
As long as the quality, as long as the product is different from their product. For example, krepek pisang. So krepek pisang, basically, they don't produce it in Japan. So
Okay.
everywhere in Lawson, in Family Marts, in 7-Eleven, we only have something like potato chips, tapioca chips, all those stuff. Okay? So not every single Lawson or Family Mart or 7-Eleven in Japan having keripik pisang is there. So if we can sell this, because I know the quality of keripik pisang that we have is much more crunchy, much more better than compared to normal potato chips. So this is the thing that we need to introduce to them. And then for us as a Bayamco, basically we are not focusing more on the local people because it's very hard to educate them for the halal itself. So it's more on the tourists, because Japan now is open their border to tourists, but basically most of the Middle East people, which is from the Muslim country, cannot enter to Japan. Not to say cannot enter, they are very hard to go to the Japan because of the food. So this is the awareness that I basically talked to a few companies in Japan. They said, why not? Okay, to pull in, and then by this year and that and next year they are promoting their medical tourism. Okay, so which is we know that most of medical tourism orang kata apa, patient ni datang daripada Middle East country, so they cannot go there because of the food. That's why.
Okay. I have not have the details with regards to. Okay, alright. Let's. One wiping. How about halal skincare? Easy to export?
Basically, beauty product. Sorry to say this word. Basically, we are much more. We have a many steps to climb in order for us to make it par with Japanese product itself. Yeah. But there's some gap that we need to fill in first before we can export those products to Japan.
Okay. Alright. You mean what are the gaps? If you can share with us.
The gap basically is more on the quality, the specification, and then the ingredient itself. Okay.
Alright.
So that's the part
So we
that
have- That you understand. Okay, I have another question. Okay, and Cik Azhar doesn't have your batteries. So
Yeah. I have to put in my slide.
Well, it's a good conversation for today. We have a good tea talk today. Okay, we have another question from Eureka Drinks. Another question, yeah. Okay, from which platform should we get information about finding distributors in Japan? Do you have a set
Come
of
to us,
distributors
yeah.
in Japan?
Yes, we have. We are working with such company like a Mitsui Group. We have Mitsubishi Group with us, and also we have a Nippon Steel, Don Coyote Group with us. So come to us, and then basically, because Bayamco itself, we are not the manufacturer, we are not the food producer. Okay, we are the importer. So we need your products in order for me to sell in Japan. So in other way is basically you sell to us. So we
I
are
see.
the importer that you sell to us your product. Okay. And then using our platform MJHVC that we provide you from door to doors arrangement. Okay. The logistic provider, the shipping liners, everything. So you come to us and then we will guide you how.
So meaning to say, I'm just wish to differentiate here. So meaning to say, Bayam, when for example, if I were to represent Eureka Drinks, okay, so we go to Bayam and say, okay, I will sell. You are our agent instead. or not just a halal consultancy sahaja? Or is that how? How does that work?
Uh,
For example, I
okay,
have
let's
some
say
things. Okay, let's say, yeah. Okay, go ahead, Encik Azhar.
so
Go ahead.
so let's say Cik Timah Corporation, okay, Cik Timah
Okay,
Sdn Bhd, they have a kerepek pisang to sell. So
keripik
Cik
pisang,
Timah
yeah.
Corporation, Cik Timah Sdn Bhd sell to Bayamco.
Okay, got it. Got
Yeah,
it.
so they don't need to worry about the distributor. They don't need to worry about the buyers or everything. You only sell to Bayamco itself because we are Japan entity.
Okay, so you are
So this is
commissioned
this
to
is
sell it.
different.
Okay,
Yes.
all
So
right.
this is a different a bit about previous years that I know that certain company basically bring their product to have exhibition in Tokyo. You know,
Yeah,
apa
betul.
tu ada some sort like expo everything. No, this is not the
Yeah,
time because we are here to buy your product.
nice. But of course, a
Bayamco
certain.
Limited is here. Yeah.
Okay, it's interesting. So I think that answers you, Eureka. Right? Okay. Any other questions from the members of the floor in Facebook? Okay, let's just take a look at the Facebook for a while. I'm actually yesterday I read a few things with regards to exporting halal products in Japan, and I wish to reiterate what the CEO of Halal Development Corporation, Hairul Arifin Sari, has mentioned. Olympics and also Paralympics are not the end game. It has a spillover. It has an opportunity. It has a fruitful opportunity for Malaysia because somehow Olympics tu telah membuka mata on our halal catering. So it promotes our product, it promotes our catering, it promotes our food related services and product. Kan? So these are the times
Yep.
perhaps you can speak to Bayam and also become a member of HIP and integrate it with Bayam in order for you to understand how does this work. Yeah, how does
Correct.
your products or your services to to Japan? Yeah. Okay, let me see. Are there any questions coming on? Okay, we have been discussing great sharing today from ThrivTV as usual. From here, we can see a new direction from local products to export. Correct. So, if you are window shopping, which country will be your next export destination? Perhaps Japan could be your target, right? So, in any information, so what do we do, Anshia Azhar? So, for example, like you say, Eureka seems interested. So, what do we do next?
Okay. Basically, we are uh, s- part of HIP with HDC basically. So whether
Yes.
you can come direct to us, which is the email is I think I have my emails there. So whatever question that you need to ask
Yeah.
whatsoever, and then basically we have some sort of like a program with HIP and SDC in the future, in the long run. Uh, in order for us to guide to consult any company that having a potential product to export to Japan. But
Mm.
our intention is not only Japan. We
Yeah.
also we given open the doors to others like our next step is to Dubai and also Korea and also Maldives. Okay, so because some people said to me when we can enter Japan is doesn't stop us to go anywhere in the world because Japan is the most stringent and the most strict country uh, to export our product. You know, so basically
Okay.
just follow the HIP and HDC program, which is maybe it's more program coming on. Maybe we have a face-to-face session later on that I can
Exactly. Yeah.
go directly to the company that need the guidance or need the consultant, whatever. So
Yeah.
that we are. Okay.
Yeah, that's the beauty of HIP, where we are housed into a digital platform. We can discuss it over there. It's also a social media with the same halal interests and industry. So anybody who's interested, please do join into our HIP website, which is hip.hdcglobal.com. I think we are at the end of the show. I hope we have any more questions coming on from Facebook. No? Okay, all right. That's all we have for today's HIP Tea Talk. Encik Azahar, anything else that you'd like to share for your, last round of your remark, etc.?
Okay. For the last 2 years, 2018, 2019, and 2020, that's to be honest with all the audience, basically, Bayamco itself managed to import 120 SKU from
Wow.
Malaysian company, yeah, and then all those 120 SKU basically uh, using during the Olympic and Paralympic this year.
Okay.
Okay, so which is means that our product having a quality, highest standard of product that can be used during the such a big event like Olympic. You know, Olympic is very strict because certain athlete cannot take pepper, certain athlete cannot take MSG, but we managed to convince that using our Malaysian product inside the Olympic main dining hall, so that's what we are. We come to that stage that we are managed to bring Malaysian product into the usage of Olympic 2020. Yeah, I cannot say more than that because we are having a very strict NDA with the Olympic Council, which is nanti I kena saman nanti. so so
Okay.
talk to us, contact us or contact HIP, okay, for
Yeah.
the details of whatever the product that okay.
Okay, thank you so much, Encik Azahar. So for more details, I think we have the kindly register at hip.hdcglobal.com. Thank you, Emma. Yeah, we have the also email Encik Azahar at bayam.com.my, and also please be in the Halal HIP bandwagon. Why not? We are in a digital world. We are faced with the pandemic. Stay into a digital platform so that we can communicate, we can interact, we are not being left out, etc. So again, I wish to reiterate again, the website is hip.hdcglobal.com and it is free. All right. Thank you so much, Encik Azahar, again. Hope all this information to entrepreneurs out there interested to export their products to Japan, all good. And I would like to wish you all the best to Encik Azahar. And thank you so much for being with us in ThrivTV. Initial Ismail, thank you and Assalamualaikum.
Deutsch Master.